Well, today it's the 1st of May. It's May Day. It's a glorious day. So I've come over to Canterbury. And this is, of course, Canterbury Cathedral. There's been a Christian site. It's been a Christian site since the 6th century when St. Augustine came to England to convert the pagans to Christianity. Now, of course, I'm going to go inside, but I'm going to have to, let's start moving. I'm going to have to do some filming and silent and do a video over the top. Okay, so over there behind that awning is the entrance. So I'm inside, and the first place I'm making for is right at the end of that structure. Through there, there's the most beautiful stained glass windows, and I'd only just learnt that day of one of the panels, which I'm going to zoom in on in a minute, depicts Stephen of Hoyland, who was being troubled by 3 demons who would visit him, and he called upon St. Thomas, there they are, to rid him of them. Those heads apparently are modern. Nobody really knows what the demons' heads originally looked like. This is the shrine to Thomas Becket, who was murdered by 4 knights who had travelled from France to kill him. The reason I'm there is the archaeologist I met in my very first video said that somewhere near there on a wall there are markings scratched into the wall which are there to ward off the devil or witches. This is the great cloister, which is haunted. It's haunted by a monk who was seen a number of times wandering around. And in a minute, I'm going to go to the infirmary cloister, which is not on the map. And I had to ask a lady where it was. And it's coming up any second now. There we are. Yeah, and apparently there was a well there. And after the water from it was used to mop up Becket's blood, it ran red and became a site of pilgrimage for quite a while afterwards. The lady had never heard of that at all, and she said there isn't a well there, but in a second you're going to see a door, and she said that's the crypt. There is a well in there, so it might have been from there. Anyway, I'm just about to go outside now. So I'm now in the grounds of St. Augustine's Abbey, which is much quieter than in the cathedral. That's the cathedral over there. So yeah, I mean, Canterbury is dotted with early Saxon churches, some in disrepair, some not so. Over that away, I'm not going there today, but you've got St. Martin's Church, which seems to be the oldest surviving church in the English-speaking Christian world. And it dates back to the 6th century when Augustine arrived here, and there is some thought that King Ethelbert was probably baptized there in 597 when Augustine arrived. So yeah, I mean, this is the abbey. This is the land that was given to Augustine when he arrived here. And the buildings that are directly in front of us were built and stayed built until Norman times, when the Normans pretty much destroyed an awful lot of it and built their own. That fell into disrepair, and then everything was closed down by Henry VIII when he dissolved the monasteries. But that building in the foreground, just to the left of that green tree, you might be able to see there's red brickwork at the top. That's actually an addition in the time of Henry VIII. So this site was reused, but fell into disrepair and ruin. There was an earthquake that knocked an awful lot of it down, and was almost forgotten until like the mid 19th century, when a MP and local historian started delving into the history of the place, and it's been well, not restored, but it's been looked after and maintained ever since, and it is a beautiful place. I mean, we're in the centre of Canterbury, but it is a very peaceful place. The reason I'm here, and this is proving to be a puzzle for me, is for the remains of this building here, all right, which is St Pancras Church, all right. Now, there's thought that there was probably a pre-Christian temple already here, used by King Ethelbert before he was converted to Christianity. And there's two accounts for the legend and the myth to do with this place, and they're both to do with the devil. One has it that the devil was so annoyed by Ethelbert becoming Christian that he attacked the church, and he left the marks of his talons in the wall of the south porch. Another account says that he was living in it, and he was furious that he was kicked out after St Augustine performed Mass there for the first time. So, yeah, this is why I've come here, to look for these scratch marks of the devil's talons in the south porch. But, oh, excuse me, this is all, you have this bit here, and you have that bit there, and that over there is north. So this is the south side. So I'm looking for scratch marks in a stone. It says it's in a stone on the south porch. Now, is that a bricked up doorway? And if that's a bricked up doorway, then you would think the scratch marks would be on this side or the other side. But no sign of anything, all right? There is a visitor centre that I came through with a lot of remains and everything. I didn't think to look. I'm going to have a look and see if there is a stone that's supposed to have the scratch marks of the devil in it. The only thing I can find, and I'm most probably completely wrong, and this is just natural, but over here, I mean, I'm not even in the south porch now, but if I go to there, but I think that's natural. So I might have just come here for absolutely no reason. But I'll head on back and just have a look in the visitor centre, in which case there might be a little bit more. But if not, that's it. I'm done. That's me done. So hopefully, I mean, the weather's changed now, as you can see. I'll be going out more holidays planned. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back with more videos soon. So that was disappointing. No sign of a stone in the museum, but let's just end with a bit of a modern fairy tale. That's where Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was made for the film. Right, that's it. I'm out. See you next time.